Are you one of the 57% of freelancers struggling to land their first client? I know what it feels like to be desperate to land your first client, but then getting stuck in the no portfolio means no client and no client means no portfolio loop. But listen, you really do not need to have your first client to create a killer portfolio piece to show off your skill sets. All you need to do is to choose the right piece and then you will shine. So that's what we're covering today. How do you choose a portfolio piece that really speaks to your client? How do you execute on it flawlessly? And then how do you present it to a client so that they start to build trust in you and get ready to sign that invoice you sent? Sounds like something you need? Let's dive in. A quick disclaimer. At the time of recording this video, I have not landed a client, and I want to be very honest about it and transparent because this is my journey. I want you to see what it really is like when you are going on a freelance journey or trying to build something outside of your 9 to 5. So everything I've put in this video and what I think is relevant to building a good portfolio piece is here. Obviously, I'm not just doing this out of the blue. I have done some research from other freelancers on what is important for a portfolio piece, but I just wanted to be honest. At the moment of recording, have not won a client at this moment, have not done any business for a specific client as yet. I've done one trial example, but that was through somebody I know, and I didn't use this portfolio piece to win anybody as yet. So this is really the way I approach building a portfolio. So if you have any tips on like improving or what should be in a portfolio, or if you're a more experienced freelancer, please put them in the comments so everybody here can learn from it. Okay, back to the video. So you want to create your first portfolio piece. The first step you need to take is to really consider what should be going into this portfolio piece and why you are putting it into this portfolio piece specifically. So the first thing is this portfolio piece really relevant to my dream client or the client I really want? The second thing is, am I going to learn something from creating this portfolio piece? Am I going to upskill? Am I going to improve? And am I actually going to enjoy the process of doing that? If you don't enjoy it and if you're not going to improve, then maybe you're doing the wrong thing. The third thing is, what skill set can I actually show in this portfolio piece? What can I show the client I can really do well? And what can I show them to convince them that I am the perfect person for the job that they want? So definitely for me, the first one would be the most relevant to everybody maybe watching this channel, and that is choose something that your client wants. If you're not putting something in to your portfolio that your client wants, you're wasting your time. It's cute and maybe they will see something, but it's not relevant to their business, so they might feel that you're not the right fit for them. And how I apply this to myself when creating this portfolio piece is in two ways. One, I did a lot of research on job sites. I just went to see what people want from a digital business manager or an executive assistant or something like that. And I noticed they really want a lot of help with project management tools like Asana, Monday.com, ClickUp, and so forth. I heard a lot of good things about ClickUp and I've seen a lot of ads from it, and I really wanted to explore it for myself. So that's kind of ticking off the box for myself. I'm going to learn something from this. And the second thing was, a lot of people are looking for this on people per hour or Upwork. So that means probably this is a good skill to learn. The other thing I noticed is that a lot of people wanted a customer relationship management system to be built in ClickUp or Monday.com or Asana. And a CRM or customer relationship management system has a lot of potential because it's kind of how you capture your clients, keep track of them and all of these things. And that's really important for small businesses. Any lead is important, right? And you need to keep track of these people and also keep track of your clients, any questions they had, their portfolio, their accounts, and so forth. And if you don't do that, it can be absolute chaos. So by building something like this, I'm going to learn about a customer relationship management system or CRM, and I'm going to learn about ClickUp. And the third thing is, yes, it is relevant to clients. So that's pretty good for me, and that's why I chose to do this topic for my portfolio piece. And I'm 100% aware that you could have used a CRM system. There's Hunter.io, there is Salesforce, there is HubSpot. Something already exists for this. However, a lot of these posts that I saw, people really wanted to use something they're already paying for, like ClickUp or Notion or Asana, because if you are looking at a small business, which is my target market, I want to help small businesses grow, then you might not have that big of a budget to go spend on a massive like CRM system or a sales system. You may just need something really basic to keep track of your current clients and to keep them happy. So for me, this is pretty relevant to learn. Now you need to go and plan how to build your portfolio piece. You can't just go randomly create something. Again, you have to have some intention behind it. You really need to think what your client needs from this. So for me, I did a lot of research on CRMs or customer relationship management systems. I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, watched a lot of things, looked at HubSpot, Salesforce, Hunter.io, what they promise in their CRM system. And I also wanted to apply it to my own business because There are people I want to cold pitch, and in the future I really hope people will approach me, and then I should have some workflow or way to keep track of my clients and their history and their questions and anything that is relevant to them. So I really went to think about how would I want my client to feel when working with me, how would I want them to feel when looking at this portfolio piece maybe, or how do I want clients to go through my workflow, and then that's kind of how I went and built my CRM system. And again, I was also keeping in mind, how do I want somebody to feel when looking at my portfolio piece? How am I going to be able to present this? Because I don't want to go create something so complicated that I cannot really explain in a 5-minute video or in a slide on a presentation point if I was going to create a portfolio piece. And as I was recording this video, I realized it might be really cool to give you guys the same portfolio brainstorming template that I use when I am planning a portfolio piece. So if you want this, you can look in the description. There is a free link where you can get this portfolio piece. Just remember that it is a Notion template. So if you want to get this, you need to click on the link and then duplicate the template so it can go into your Notion page. So now you have to actually go and build your portfolio piece. That's it. You have to go put in the work. So I first drew out a cool picture. This is my beautiful diagram of my CRM system, and then I went to build it in ClickUp. So I'm going to give you a little walkthrough, and this is also kind of how I would explain a portfolio piece to a client, because you're not trying to show a client how you did it. You're not giving them a tutorial on how you built every single aspect of this workflow. You're trying to show them the what you did and what's the benefit to them. And that's kind of how I'm going to explain it. And then hopefully that helps you when you are creating a portfolio piece and trying to explain it to a client. And again, any tips on how to improve this, I'd be immensely grateful. So please put it in the comments. So one of the things I did is create 2 lead capture forms. The one is an internal lead capture form, and that is for me. If I find somebody I would love to work with, I can quickly jot down their details to come back to later, and I can have some information to start my cold pitching research for. The other one is the external lead capture form, and that is when somebody finds me and they would love to work with me and they fill this in. I then created an automation so that a task is created when these forms are submitted. So for me, if it's an internal lead capture form, I have a lot more work to do. So I have a task that is automatically created with certain steps or subtasks, and that is to do client research, to set up a cold pitch, to create maybe a demo piece of work for them, or show them what I could improve in their business, or maybe what I thought they could use my services for, and then send them a potential invoice and my portfolio. So maybe I need to do some portfolio updates and so forth. If somebody actually came to me, that is very cool because it is less work for me. I just need to go research this client and I need to set up a meeting. So there's fewer set of tasks. However, the sad thing is sometimes if I do research on a client, I don't really think they might be a good fit for my business, or if I am looking at a client to cold pitch, I might realize that they don't have as much money as I thought. Maybe they're not bringing in money, or the team is too big. They already have a massive team. They don't really need a digital business manager at that moment. So then it breaks my heart, but this client is then kind of trashed or put on hold. So trash sounds really bad, but they're put on hold, or they're just not a good fit for me right now. So they're disqualified as a client, and I'm not going to spend more time on them. But, then I still have like a small task of letting the client know this is not going to work if they approached me, or if it was a cold pitching, it's just that I put this client on the shelf. However, if I think this client is a good fit, or if after the cold pitch this client actually wants to work with me, I get to create an automatic account for that client, and I also have contact in place for that client, which means if this is an account, so maybe this is a business that already has existed for a while, they might have a few members in their team, so I want to have a contact list of who I should contact for what, so what the role is of the team, so I don't have to go bother the business owner. My role for my business, what I want to do is help business owners get back their time. So I don't want to go and nag them with small minor details like, who is this person again who I'm supposed to contact for these details? You don't want to do that. You want to have that all on hand. So after they told you once, everything is out of the way. The other cool thing I do then with an automatic task is onboarding. So you need to onboard a client properly. You want to show them your way of work, maybe when your holidays are, what your schedule is, make clear what the scope of work is for the work you are doing, your billing period, to also give them some contracts to sign, and all of this can be easily slipped out of your mind. So I created an onboarding task with a lot of templates of how I should fill in an onboarding document to send to a client, if there are any questionnaires I want them to fill in, anything like that. I created some templates, so it makes my life easy, and again, the task is automatically created, so if somebody had to come and work for me in the future, or even for myself in the future, if I come back to this, I don't have to think about, oh, I need to remember to do X, Y, Z. All of this is automatically created, and it makes my life easier. So I don't have to think through all the steps every single time. I thought about it once, and now I can just go through my workflow of onboarding a client. And that's how I would kind of explain this to a client in a portfolio piece. How I do it at the moment is I kind of give them a scope of work, why I'm doing this, and what the benefit is to a client. And then I have a little video to think through what I did and how it would benefit a client. Obviously, this is not exactly how I would do it in my own portfolio. I would go a little bit more into depth and explain a few things a bit better, but that gives you the general gist of this. If this video has helped you, I would love to speak to you guys again in the next video. And if you want some more daily updates on what I'm doing to try and push my business forward, please follow me on Instagram with Marguerite, and it would be great to see you guys there as well. Okay, have a lovely day. Till the next one. Bye.